Hi there, my name is Ashley, and this is Wix Made Simple, where I'm here to make Wix simple for you. So today we are going to be going over 5 of my top tips for making your Wix website look more professional. These are very low effort, high impact changes that you can probably complete all of in less than 20 minutes. So let's jump right in. Okay, so if you want your business to be taken seriously online, I'm going to assume that you've already upgraded to a premium plan on Wix so that you can connect your own domain to your website. If you haven't done that, go do that right now and then come back to this video. So when you upgrade to a premium plan on Wix, that allows you to connect your domain and it allows you to do a lot of other things. But 2 of the things we're going to look at today are going to be on the back end of your site within your website settings. So when you hop onto Wix, instead of going into the editor, I want you to go to this dashboard, which you can get to by choosing select site. It's going to look something like this. I'm down here in the settings and I'm going to use this search bar to look for something called a favicon. So I'm going to type in favicon and I'm going to click the first option. It's going to bring me right to it. So your favicon is the small icon that will display in web browsers. This is something that you don't notice when it's done right, but you definitely notice when it is not done. So if you haven't taken the time to create a favicon and to upload one right here, I highly suggest doing that. If you don't do it, it will either show up blank or sometimes there'll be a Wix favicon in place of it. The easiest way to do this is to take a portion of your logo or even an important letter as part of your brand name and keep it really, really simple. So you can hop onto Canva and create a favicon very simply. It's going to be a square format. Typically starting with something like 48 by 48 pixels will work well for our purposes. So I'm just going to go ahead into Canva and open up a random template that's a square, and I'm going to then design a favicon. So if this was my brand, Olivia Custom Tailor, then I could choose between using this little icon, which looks like a ball of yarn, or maybe using an O or something for my brand name. I'm going to make this as simple as possible. So for this one, since we do have a little icon, let's go ahead and use that for the favicon. And it could be as simple as this. If you wanted to get even more professional looking, you can change the colors of your favicon to match your brand, and that is going to kind of make it even more professional looking. So we can see the favicon for Canva here is a very small version of their logo, that letter C with their branding colors. Wix as well, we can read the word Wix. On my personal website, wixmadesimple.com, I went with a really simple W in one of my brand colors, and I just uploaded that image there. So taking the time to take care of that can make a big impact, and I definitely suggest doing it. It doesn't have to be complicated. The other setting in here that we're going to look at is this social share image. So when you are using a link and you are sharing it, whether it's in a text message, on a social networking site or something like that, it's going to pull an image from your website. And if you don't use this setting back here and set the image you'd like it to use, it will often just choose a random one. I have a lot of clients who will shoot me an email and say, hey, I sent a link to my friend and this weird picture came up. Why did it choose that picture? We always fix that by coming over here into these settings and then setting our social image. And it's a general image that you want to kind of represent your entire brand. So you don't really want to use it as an opportunity to get super specific. So you could keep it simple and make it your website logo or any kind of photo that's going to be appropriate for your business. I suggest either a square orientation for this picture or a landscape, as opposed to something that is maybe more of a portrait orientation. So when you do have that image chosen, all you have to do is click Update Image and choose from your site files and set that. And so those are very simple things that you can do that just add a level of polish. The next thing that we're going to do is hop into the editor. So if I'm on the dashboard, I can click Edit Site. And we're going to look at some SEO housekeeping. So I like to hop over to the pages and menu selection in our menu over here. and take a look at what these pages are named and what their URL actually looks like. When we're building a site in Wix, sometimes we are creating pages by duplicating other pages, and we don't take the time to make sure that those pages are properly named. So we could have a page on our website that is wixmadesimple.com/about-5 or wixmadesimple.com/copy of something. So I like to do a pretty thorough look through all of the pages on my site and check their SEO so that the page names and the URLs are ready to share and to be proud of and make sense. So from within this pages and menu bar, we can go into any of these pages that we've created and click into the ellipses for some more settings. I choose SEO Basics, and that pulls up the page where I can see both what the title tag in search results would be, a meta description, and because this is my homepage, it doesn't have what's called a URL slug, which is that /about/shop/whatever. So I'm going to go, this all looks good to me, and I'm going to go down to about and take a look at that one. I'm going to do the same thing, click into the ellipses and the basics, and here you're going to see that last part of your page URL. And if you've copied a page on your site to create a new page, it will auto-populate as copy of dash whatever. So going in and taking a minute to just make sure that that slug makes sense will make your website look a lot more professional when somebody's browsing it. And I'll do that for all of my pages. If you want a more in-depth guide to taking care of your SEO, I've got a video on my channel that will walk you through kind of the basics of SEO so that you have a good foundation for having a searchable website. And I'm just going to continue looking through, seeing if I find anything that is kind of out of place here. This is my own website, so like fingers crossed I don't have one, but here is one. It is not a visible site, so this, or not a visible page, so this was probably a draft for something that I was working with, and I never published it or made it visible on my final site. But you can see here that this is an example of making a copy of a page, and it now says copy of home. So what I would do is go in there and name it something that is going to make sense for the purpose of this page. So really simple, but very effective. If I'm on a website and I find myself in my browser at the URL / something that makes no sense, I definitely get the sense that that person didn't take the time to kind of polish their site. So easy to do, and if you feel overwhelmed by that and you want help getting into these settings, you can schedule anywhere from 15 minutes to 90 minutes with me, where we hop on a screen share and work on your site one-on-one, and kind of can polish any of these parts of your site that may feel overwhelming to you. All right, the next tip that I have for you is for your mobile website, and this is something that takes just a minute, not even. So on your mobile website, if you have a really long page, you might find that people are having to scroll and scroll and scroll. And as a convenience for our website users, what we want to do is add a back to top button. And it's a very simple thing to do. Wix makes it really straightforward. So I want you to hop into your mobile editor, which is the little phone icon here up on the top. And I want you to go to the little wrench here, which is going to pull up a set of mobile specific tools. So when you click into that, you'll see that the back to top button is an option right here. You're going to click that and add it to your site, and you're going to have an option to choose from a lot of kind of pre-designed layouts, or to really customize your particular button, what it looks like, how it behaves. But having one there is going to just increase the convenience of somebody who is on your site and needs to get back to the top quickly. So a really simple thing to do, but yeah, a really helpful thing. All right, speaking of mobile, you probably spent a lot of time in the editor on the desktop view of your site, making sure that your site looked perfect, and then you published it and you hopped on your cell phone and everything was crazy. Mobile optimization and that final mobile polish is a crucial step in making your website look professional. And it's often overlooked until sometimes it's too late. Our website has been out there in the world, and maybe somebody, a potential client or customer, messages us and is like, this doesn't make any sense. And it's only then that we realize, oh my gosh, I never looked at the mobile view of my site. So in your Wix editor, you can actually go right into the mobile editor and go page by page to make sure that everything looks good on mobile. I do have an in-depth video for mobile optimization because it's kind of an in-depth process. So if you need really kind of hands-on stuff, head to that video. But just for a general kind of overview, it's in this mobile editor that you're going to be able to, very similar to how you did on the desktop view of the editor, tweak and fine-tune things that just maybe don't make sense at the moment. So maybe the placement of a photo is off, or the text is like way too big or too small. This mobile editor is going to allow you to go through page by page and make sure that you are putting your best foot forward when somebody's looking at your site on their phone. And a lot of us know from experience that we look at people's websites while we're on our phone. And so taking the time to go through the mobile view of your site can really save you a lot of kind of headaches and embarrassment down the line. So the final thing, and a very simple thing, is having a footer on your website. My website's actually not the best example of this, but I don't have a physical location or store hours or any of that type of thing. So I'm going to pull up another site that's a template site and just show you kind of an example of a professional footer. A really simple thing is having your copyright and any kind of social icons. You want to make sure that those are accurate and up to date. If you're not updating your copyright line, it might look like your business is out of business. So making sure that it's reflecting either the full range of when you've been in business or the most recent year, so that it always feels up to date, is really simple to do. And adding those social icons for people to access as well. So I'm going to hop on just kind of a random template and see what the footer looks like here. So this is an example of a footer where you can see the year, you can see social icons, a version of the logo. Maybe you have a miniature menu or a newsletter, but any pertinent information that you can save somebody time having to look for when they've looked at your page, they've scrolled through it, now they're at the bottom. Whatever kind of action you want them to take, whether it's following you on social or joining your newsletter, is important to have on your footer. And your footer shows up on every single page of your website. So taking a minute to just make sure that it's reflecting what you want it to reflect is something small that can really go a long way. All right, so we are making sure we have a favicon and a social image that makes sense, that our page URLs and titles are accurate, that our website looks great on mobile and is easy to navigate by getting back to the top quickly, and that we have a footer that works for us. These are really simple things that you can do. They don't take a lot of time, but they do have a big impact. If you are still feeling overwhelmed by doing it all by yourself, I totally get that. I have been there. I am happy to help you kind of hand in hand put some finishing touches on your website. So you can book 15 minutes or 90 minutes. We can work together one-on-one to just get your site to the point that you feel really proud to share it. I hope today's tips were helpful, and let me know which one of these you did in the comments, and I'd love to take a look at your site. And make sure to follow me for future videos. That is all for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.